call. Well, actually, I'm going to defer to the clerk. The clerk is here, so she can take the roll call.
Oh, I get to take, okay, so.
Yeah,
and I
well,
guess
that's-
it's-
how are you gonna tape it?
Oh, that's.
I'm not, you know what,
that's
I will,
Eric. Eric needs
I'll
to,
do
he
these-
turned it on.
He's already
Oh,
turned it
did
on.
he?
Yeah.
It's rolling.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess
Sure.
we'll do a roll call. So I can
Is
see who's
Eric,
here.
is Eric there?
Eric
Yep.
is here.
Yes, yep.
Yep, yep.
Why can't I see everybody? I don't understand what the deal
You're
is.
on the
I'm
wrong
not, you know
device.
what, I didn't put my video on, to be honest.
I think you
All right,
can
I'm
do a
gonna do
gallery view, Charlie. There's a button you can
Oh,
press. to
no,
see
look,
gallery
look,
view.
Gavin's there. Gavin is there. How are you doing?
Yeah.
This is the most confused roll call. Maybe I should take it back from the clerk.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take a roll call. All right, so Gavin,
Here.
Dean,
Yes.
Charlie,
Yes.
Wendy's here, Steve.
Here.
All right, and then
Okay.
I
Meeting has been called.
And
to
then
order.
there's Phil. Phil might be out there somewhere.
no, he's not on,
He's not on the call.
not yet.
Okay,
He's
I'm
not
okay.
on the
watching.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first order of business tonight is the article as proposed, which had some minor modifications from our last conversation. Some were suggested and I incorporated those, but others I kind of went off track on them and I will explain myself. So I'm going to share my screen if Eric will give me the rights. Let's see, where's my, is it up? Yes, it's up. Okay. Okay, I've got the rights. Now I got to find the right text. I've got a lot of things here. I think this is it. Nope, that's Wendy's document. So we're gonna not gonna share that.
You're showing your article.
Am I showing my article?
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
All right, hold
Yeah.
on a sec. Let me just get it in on my own screen so I can see it.
Okay.
There it is. Okay. So the first thing that I plugged was the number that we had agreed to at the last meeting, which is $8,150,000. It probably could use one more comma to make it clearer. So I'll put that in there.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. For the design and construction of solar energy systems. Now, I took out the words optional with optional, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. I also took out any and or. It is just, we're just doing what we're doing. So the only thing that I changed in here is I added the addresses as was recommended
Yep.
for the two properties that we're considering. And now I want to talk about the and or, which I removed, which also allowed me to not get into some kind of verbal mess in the description below.
Mhm.
Basically, we're recommending, or not, the article says we want all this money. And if you look at all the backup materials, all the money that's in the article is not for this or that or the next thing. That
Yeah.
money is for all the things. So I didn't think it was reasonable for us to say we want $8,950,000 for kind of a catch bag of maybe we'll do this and maybe we won't. It's the money is for all the things. So that's why I took out a lot of the optional and the and or. Does anybody have any comments on that?
The
No,
right thing to do. Remove it.
Makes sense. Yep.
As we move towards town meeting, if some of these components drop away from the proposal, we reduce the number and we will potentially reduce the language to account for that. But right now it's for all the things. The other thing I guess I'd want to comment on is that Laura made a comment the other day that that the number we have in the backup materials for a battery seemed very low to her, that she was expecting something more in the $4 to $5 million range for a battery of the scale we were talking about. I don't know how to true up what Laura said versus two other points of reference, and I'll mention the 2 points of reference that I'm aware of. One point of reference is the NREL modeling tool that we used to financially characterize the solar arrays also has a mechanism within that modeling tool to characterize a battery installation. And when you go through that process with what's called a standalone battery, and you say, I want a 4-megawatt battery, and I want, this, and I want that. I want it to have a 2-megawatt capacity, a 4-megawatt-hour holding tank, and 2 megawatts of dispatch capacity. It comes back with a number that is about $1.99 million. If you then turn around and use a real world example and go to the Tesla website and say, I'd like to purchase one of these, it comes back and tells you $2.188 million. Now, Dave then said, well, the Tesla number is too low, let's add 30%. So the number we have in our stuff is Tesla plus 30%. I can't find a way forward to get to a number that looks like 4 or 5 million. Those are the two pieces of data that I was able to find. So 4 to 5 million seems high. It just seems high. And I think what we're asking for is reasonable. Does anybody have any comment on that?
Dean, remind me again, what did we come up with in that amount for the battery?
What do you mean? Let me just look at I will remind myself by looking at my PowerPoint, and the number we came up with for the battery all in when we added a 30% lift to the Tesla number was 2.845375.
Okay.
So it's closing in on 3 million.
Now, we had discussions with some external people about the numbers for the battery that were in the original light plant proposal for CMS, and we came up with new numbers. Now, what were the new numbers that were actually in the model, that the final model that was presented to the town?
So the CapEx, I have the
the article, yeah.
The explanation, the light plant had CapEx of 3.3, but there was also, actually the storage system was 2.6, and engineering and other fees was 710,000. So it came up to 3.3 million.
So we're not that far. It's not 4 to 5. Okay. So we're not, we're off by, 30,000, 50,000. It's not orders of magnitude. Let's put it that way, or it's not twice as much.
Yeah.
So what if what did Dave recommend that we add?
He
30%.
recommended Dave, you can comment.
Yeah.
My recollection of the comment was take the Tesla price, add 30%. You should be okay.
Yeah, That is what I said. So you can come up with the numbers a bunch of different ways, and adding in engineering costs might not be in there, but I think you at least have some support for the number that you put together. You can point to a couple different things. It may be a little low, but who knows? Prices change all the time. So
yeah.
Right.
But we want to make
I think-
sure that we have the max price here, and we can always lower it, right? So if we think we're low, Dave, if we think the battery's low, we could up this. I know we might cross that 9 million magic number, but
Well, yeah.
Right. But you're also going to, let's be serious. If the number, if we go to market and we find the number's not there, we're still able to vary the capacity that we want to purchase. We might have to go to the market and say, okay, instead of 2, maybe we can only afford 1 point something, and we still get battery. In the article, we're not dictating the size of anything we're buying here.
No, we're not.
true, right?
But there's another point here that's important. I think this is one that we discussed at the last meeting, it's not like this is the end of the world. If the battery costs more than we anticipated, there's still funds available through the CMLP, through other sources to supplement. Now, I don't want to go wild on that idea, but maybe Dave might want to comment on that. I don't think it's the end of the world to, be a little bit low.
The other piece.
Well, wait. Let's get Dave to comment on that.
Okay.
Can we supplement if we're a little bit low in the way the bids come in?
yeah, that can be done depending on what the number is. If we're talking millions, that might be more difficult. But if you're talking a couple 100,000, we probably can pull that from a depreciation fund.
So the other thing about the article that I was in a cold sweat this afternoon, but I was happy again.
Dean, have we closed out the battery yet? Have we closed out that topic? Let's finish that topic before we move to this cold
like-
sweat.
It felt to me like we were kind of okay with where we are, Dave.
We don't want it, in other words, we don't want to bump it up by another couple $100,000.
I'm disinclined to do it, but we could take a vote if you want to push.
No, I don't
that.
need to vote on things here. I'm
Okay,
just
all right.
asking whether it would be prudent to do that. Now, the reason I say that is by the time we get to a point where we have to defend what we're doing, we're going to have good numbers. We don't have good numbers now. So what you want to do is provide a little cushion so that you can come down, as Wendy just said, come down to the number you want. And certainly we'll be coming down to a more rational number as we get into these meetings. So I don't know. I just want us to be clear that, yeah, that's the right choice to leave it the same, or gee, maybe we ought to bump it. And I just want to hear what people have to say on that.
Haven't we bumped it 30% already?
Yeah,
But on a smaller battery, right, Dean, that Tesla battery, was that a 4 megawatt or was that 2?
3.9.
Oh.
A 1.
Yeah.
So is that
and a
the
1
same?
point- One
Yeah.
3.9 and a 1.9 megawatt delivery capability. So it's close. It's not
Yeah.
2.4,
Okay.
it's 1.9 and
Okay.
2.9, but it's pretty darn close
Yeah.
to the scale. Maybe that's all they can fit in a certain size trailer. I don't know.
So Dave, what's your take on this? Just to, give the last little comment here for us.
So I was
Would you-
thinking about this a little bit. If I remember correctly, it was 1.55 megawatts on the slope. And
Yep,
what was the amount that you guys estimated for the drainage swale?
Dean, do you have those numbers?
I
in
have
front of
those
you? I don't-
numbers. Why don't I just share this for this other screen for a second? I will change I'll stop that and we'll move to the other one. Here. Here are the numbers.
Okay.
All right, so the landfill is, okay, so this is where I was kind of in a cold sweat today. But I've come down off of that rush. I was concerned that the numbers we were promoting here were net of the 25.5%
Oh, no.
that
Yeah.
we get from
Yeah.
the federal government. And then I looked at a couple of the SAM models, and these are not net of that.
No, yeah, you did full.
These are the bust out retail numbers, and we would expect to be able to build these in the end for
Yep.
25% less than the numbers that we've estimated. That because we would get that as a rebate from the
Credit.
federal government. So
Yeah.
these, I was driving around going, oh no, we put net numbers and then we're not gonna be able to
Yeah.
take
Yeah,
out
no.
bond anticipation note, and it's not gonna
Oh.
work. But
Could have
it's-
told you that, yeah.
It's all fine.
Yeah,
It's all
good.
fine.
So I guess where I was going with that is, what's the total capacity that is in all of these projects combined?
The total capacity combined is 2.44 megawatts.
Okay. So when you look at that $895,000 number, right? And you look at the
Yeah.
middle school, the middle school is 1.2 megawatts with a 4 megawatt hour battery, right? 2 megawatts, 4 megawatt hours. And we were at 700,000. So this amount of
7.5 million, I think. Dave.
is double what we projected for the middle school. So that might be part of the reason the number looks a little low from my perspective, but I've seen all the rationale that you guys have put into it. I don't think it's terrible, but it feels a little low on my end.
Well, if it feels a little bit low on your end, would you think it might make sense to bump it then?
Well, I would like to bump it, but you guys have the supporting documents for the numbers that you've come up with. I'd have to go and do my own analysis on it. So, and you guys want to get this thing.
The
on
reason that this seems a little low is because we're building huge canopies over at at the middle school. That's very expensive infrastructure just to put the panel up. So that,
But Dave was comparing on megawatts,
yeah, that's right.
megawatts-
It's
megawatts
much, it's
of-
much more expensive per
not on
megawatt to build
canopies.
canopies.
Yeah.
He wasn't talking about the expense. He was talking about the ratio between the generation and the storage. I think you were talking about that, were you, Dave?
No, I was just looking at it as an aggregate. Dean's got a great point with the.
Okay, we're good then.
But
Well, if
Well,
But
I
it's-
think Dave thinks we're low, so.
it still feels a little low.
Yeah.
Not like 4 million low, but you know, you guys have your documents to support it. You know, if we were talking about a canopy at the high school, then this number would be significantly low, and you're not. You're talking about a ground mounted and a roof mounted, so.
So what happens if we added like 300,000 just to cover more of the battery and it becomes 9.25 million? I mean,
I think.
So we
the
could
part
bump it
that-
up, we could bump up the contingency. If the contingency came
well,
in
that
at
too. Yeah.
1%, it would be a different number, that's all.
Yeah, I think the thing that is concerning on my end with the 9 million, if you look at the light plant debt ratio right now, it's going
Yeah.
down until the middle school comes on, and it's
Yeah.
gonna go back up, and then we're gonna add this on top of it. It's gonna be significant. And that's the concern I have. And that's one of the reasons why I don't wanna drive up that number to like 12 million.
That's fine.
Well,
We're, Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the debt will get discounted, right? So hopefully,
Yeah, but your contingency, I mean, if I look at it from a construction point of view, 3.8 in a, conceptual, that's a low contingency at this phase, right? So
Yes,
I
it
wouldn't
is
have
at
any
this
problem
phase, it is.
taking it up, bring yourself up to a, 6 or 8% contingency. That might give you the, the extra 3 or 4, 100 that you give you a cushion to make everyone, calm
All
down.
right.
Yeah, it'll get us north of 9, but
all right, I'm gonna move us over now to Excel. I have the same thing in Excel. This
Oh,
is the
yeah.
point that you're being
Yeah.
shared out.
Yeah.
So just 1
but
second.
6%, and 6% was the default in the NREL models, right? So it's actually a good benchmark, Steve. That's what
Yeah.
you're referring to.
I'm waiting for my Excel to fire up, so give me a second here. Okay. All right, let's see. I think is this the one we're doing? Yeah, I think this is the one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is the right model. Hold on. Before I share it, yeah. this
Take
is
your
the one.
time.
This is the one we want. Okay, hold on, let me share that out. Where did it go?
Does anyone have a marketing degree to know what numbers look good?
No,
Good comment, Colin, Kevin, that's good. All right, so right here, this is back calculated, and this is a plug number to get to that. So what if we move this number to 9,200,000?
There you
That's
go.
6.7.
Yeah.
Does that make everybody more comfortable?
Well, it's getting to be a better contingency, isn't it?
Yes, it
Yep.
is.
Yeah.
It's more, I mean, we're so early in the game that, when we
Right.
were doing the CMS project, the building project, Charlie, they were carrying like a 15% contingency.
Well, we had 3 contingencies, or we still
I know,
have
there-
a
there
bunch
was
of
two.
contingencies.
I know, everywhere, every which way.
well,
So-
and
This
we've got
feels
2
better.
embedded here. We've got a
Yeah.
bump, a 30% bump, and we're not talking about the credit return and
Yep.
Right,
True.
that's the thing, these numbers are to build the system, and then we turn around and put our hands out to the government saying,
Yeah.
okay, you owe, and we're
Right.
gonna get plenty of it back. So my understanding of the way that would be done is we would end up putting out a bond anticipation note that would get us through construction, and the note may be long enough that it also gets us through the tax filing window. and then you file the taxes and you start to get the money back because you've spent it, you've actually spent it. You get
Yeah.
the money back, then you can take out the long-term bond on the net because you've gotten the money back. But I don't know how long that cycle would be, how long the bond anticipation note would have to run for.
You can do it up to 3 years.
You can do it up to 3. Then
Yeah.
we would easily get the rebate from the government if we do that. So
Yeah.
it would change the cash flow model because now you're
Yeah.
carrying the full debt load rather than the reduced debt load for maybe a year and a half or something. I don't know
Right,
what.
yeah. Yeah, I
you
think
know,
Laura
but-
got feedback on that,
Yeah.
the
And-
timing, but that's detail.
That's
And coming
details.
back to the battery line item itself, you already have a pad in there, right?
That's the 30%. So this number, if
So
you
I
look at
think
the
you've got
calculator,
enough.
this times 1.3. So this is
Yeah.
30%
Yeah.
on top of, so.
Well, I think
I
we've done
definitely
better
think-
now.
Yeah, I think
everybody's
so.
a little more comfortable with a little bit more contingency number in there.
Yep.
All right. All right, so I think that's the article and I will, I have to change my tune a little bit with the select board because I sent them the 8925, but that's because that was the best number we had when I was supposed to
Yep.
hand in stuff for the meeting package, so I
I
did the
think
best.
you're all right.
I think
You're
I'm
fine.
fine.
Yep.
You know,
All right. Dean, do
Um,
you need someone to make a motion to support this article?
yes, we need a motion.
Okay, I make a motion that we modify the proposed language that you reviewed with us to include this 9.2 million number and keep the red line language that you had, and that we submit this to the select board for review and inclusion in the warrant.
I
Anyone
second.
want a second? Okay. Okay, roll call. Let's see, Wendy, yes. Steve?
Yes.
Yes? Oh, you do, that's Steve or
Charlie?
Dean?
Yes,
Steve. Charlie, yes. Dean?
Yes?
Gavin?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm just checking. Phil didn't join us, did he? No, he's not. Okay, it's unanimous. Great.
Okay, yes, it
Ooh.
is. Okay,
that's a win. So big
That's a
win
win.
for us, unanimous.
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's good news. Now I'm gonna unshare the metrics and whatever I'm sharing, or stop that. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the article for the bridge. And there were some comments that Laura distributed. And we need to be sensitive to that, but still, you know, get our message out without too much here, you know, too much, I don't know, dust up here. Let's do our best. Okay, so I'm gonna, somewhere I've got the original text, and Wendy, you sent a proposal. Can you share your proposed,
Oh,
or how do we
whatever.
want,
Yeah.
how do we want to play that?
Let me make a comment about group editing.
Yeah,
You know, I think, you know, you need somebody in chief of writing the article. The chief for that is you, Dean.
it is.
And I think that if we have comments about the language, we should make comments. I don't think we should try to change the language, you know, as a group. I think that's too complicated because, you know, there are a group of us here. So I think we have to give you some latitude to deal with the feedback and incorporate it in an appropriate way into your draft and get it straightened out. So if there's any straightening out to do, that would be on you. That's
So,
my take on process.
so, you know, Laura had a couple of main points in her email, which was sent to all of us, which I'm not sure how well that fits with the open meeting law rules, but
Yeah.
whatever. The first comment was that to characterize the light plant as not pursuing solar is invalid. And you know, that's a reasonable thing, but the goal here is for us to develop in-town solar, which is what has been dropped. We have really not been pursuing in-town solar, and Laura had some comments in there about how it has been difficult. We have solar saturation. We have reasons that we're not doing that.
Yeah.
That's fine, but we haven't. We just haven't been doing it. So I don't want to belabor it, but we can change it to say we haven't been pursuing in-town solar until we got to, we came to the middle school. Okay,
That's a correct statement.
just to clarify that we have been pursuing in-town solar, which is fine.
That's good.
The next thing that she took exception to was the idea that the light plant was helping, so to speak, to get the middle school into a position of being net zero. And she didn't like the word helping. I'm open to considering other words, but in the end, the town had multiple votes at town meeting saying, we want this. This is what we want. And so the light plant stepped in to do what the town asked for. I don't know how to put that in the sentences that we have available to us, but that's really, that's really how it went.
As a member of the building committee, I think the word helping is exactly right, because a lot of the net zero stuff that we were doing was through, going all electric, building a super tight building, super tight
Yep.
envelope. There's a lot more to net zero than just, getting solar panels. And then, we had to count on the light plant to come on board and help us get the ball over the line. And I
Right.
think the word helping is exactly right. We're all working this together. These are not separate agendas. We're all doing our piece of the pie.
Yeah,
And that's the way the middle school thing went down.
right. So maybe I'll leave that word helping.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I think it's reasonable. I thought through it. I thought that was a good term for what was going on.
It's
Because
a good term.
there were a lot of moving pieces in getting that school, to be what it is. And the solar is one of the pieces. That's right. It's one of the pieces. Significant one, but it's one of the pieces. So let me see. I'm going to share the whole document here and we'll just kind of walk through it here. Let me find it. Share. Now I got to find which of these many.
Are there other comments that she made?
Those are the two primary comments, was that she took exception to the word helping. I'm hopeful that that's the copy. No, that's Wendy's copy, I believe.
Yeah,
That
it
has
looks like it.
purple in it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna worry about that yet. Let's try again. Actually, I'm gonna cycle through these, and so I have so many windows open. I've got like multiple Word windows open at the moment, and I need to be clear. Yeah, how about this one? Okay, this is good. All right, that should work if I share that. All right, we're gonna try this one. I think that's the one. Okay. This has got what ultimately was sent out, and it has the little draft thing in there.
Mhm.
So the goal was simple: create this thing. Okay, so the first paragraph, I don't think there's any issues
Well,
there.
I think there is. I think there is. I
Oh, here
would
we are.
I would
Yep.
use the word. I would say we want to build on that momentum. It's a value-free word. The town is
Where?
looking to build on that momentum. Last sentence.
Oh,
Fresh start. Well, okay. We're really not getting a fresh start here. I
Okay,
think
that's
that's a little
fine.
cheeky. So on that
Yeah,
momentum.
no, I'm saying that the middle school is.
I know.
Yeah.
I know what you're
It's a
doing.
fresh start. The middle school is
We
allowing.
got
us a
other
fresh
people
start.
involved here.
it might be helpful to remind people how much solar is with the middle school. I guess that was one of my comments, Dean, was to say how much is at the middle school.
Yep.
And why do we need to say that?
Well, it's just remember, this is the bridge. People don't have a clue what megawatt even means, but they know there's something about 20 that's important. They know that we've got 7.5 now. They know there's something that happened in middle school. They don't remember how much. Right.
Right.
And we have a goal to close that window, and the window is X, right? So putting some numbers in there is what I was trying to get to, Dean, in my
Alright, so-
comments, which was,
So let's try to okay, so let's go back before we even get to the fresh start versus momentum and Wendy's comment, and also incorporating
Yeah, sorry.
something that Laura offered, which was, hey, we've been pursuing solar energy. So then discontinued further pursuit of in town. I'm just going to put in town.
Yep.
Solar energy until it committed to help make the middle school net zero. I think that sentence is fine at that point. Now,
You could say with the, I think fresh start is just not a good line because,
okay, but
they already did the big middle school thing. Maybe that's the fresh start right there. So
that's what I mean. We're looking to build on the fresh start, which is the middle school that got approved. In other words, we're building on that fresh start, but we can just say on that momentum, it's fine. I don't care.
I think momentum's better. It's just value free.
It's value free.
It is.
But Wendy's comment, I need an entire sentence. Now, one of the detailed problems here is that we're trying to keep this around 500 words because that's
Right.
kind of a thing. And it's right now it's at about 507. So we're in the zone, but I don't know that I can afford like an entire sentence to describe that this is. So let's see, where can we, until it committed to help make the middle school net zero by adding 1.2 megawatts of solar. What does that important?
Does that really matter? Does that really matter to anybody?
I don't know that that's that important.
It's not important.
I don't know. Wendy, I'm going to pass on that one. I'm going to just pass. We're okay here.
I mean, do you even need to say that they discontinued
I
further
know.
pursuit?
Yeah, I don't like the
You
Why
word
don't
don't
even
you
need
discontinued
to.
either.
I would
don't
just
have to
say,
even
they
talk
built it
about it.
until 2014 and in,
And
X and followed that with whatever.
Yeah, that's
With
right.
X,
That's
with the middle
exactly
school.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the
didn't
negative out of
discontinue.
it.
There was a little hiatus there, but we don't need to punch
And
away
you
at
could
it.
just, that's where I was saying, you could just say, drop in, say, we'll add an additional X with completion of the middle school solar project.
So,
No, you don't need that. No, you just say,
Alright.
I think Steve got it right.
Yeah,
Steve got it right.
Take out the
Just-
discontinued. Just
But built 7.5 and further, built out solar on the CMS or whatever, but we don't need to get into megawatt stuff.
all right. So
Well,
so the reason that we had two votes, one in the 2022 town meeting and the one in the 2023 town meeting were precipitated by the lack of forward progress. You don't want to even mention that the reason for doing
I don't
this
think
is,
so. I
Okay.
don't think you need to.
water under the
That's all
bridge
purpose.
now.
Yeah.
it's water under
Right.
the bridge. We're underway.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we are.
If I could just jump in here, I think at some part in here, it might be helpful to say something along the lines of, the main challenge has been something with capacity on our local grid, something like that. And that could be
Let's
part
not,
of this.
I wouldn't get into that right now.
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
too
get
hard to
into it.
explain.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
the only
it
way
would take me a
I-
whole paragraph to explain that, Gavin. I thought
Right.
about exactly those kinds of issues.
Yeah.
But you end up churning through a lot of words to very little benefit,
that's true. I do think it's helpful
expensive.
to
In a short space, it's expensive.
Yeah,
But
it's helpful to
discontinued.
explain. So I think it's productive to explain, it's helpful in explaining why there's been a hiatus, as we said, in construction locally. But maybe you're right. Maybe if you were to include it, it would be in something like the second paragraph.
Well,
But
it's
I'll talk about that
complicated.
later.
Very complicated to say, well,
Well, you could just say instead of saying
producing duck curves and producing too much power and all this kind of stuff, it's that's hard.
All
yeah,
right.
well, maybe
All right.
Charlie, you could say or Dean, you could say in the second paragraph, instead of more straightforward to construct, it could be like something about the smarter place in the grid to put it, or something like that. Like
Yeah.
good
feel like-
grid location.
That's too technical.
Yeah.
I thought about those things as well, Gavin, saying this is how much we discovered we can put on. This is how much we're putting on.
Yeah.
All those details, I just threw them
There
all,
were.
list all of them away. Like we're
Yeah.
not even saying in here, very much more than like, we're gonna be able to add a lot of megawatts, which seems like a big number relative, because it's a big number relative to our goals.
Don't move
let's
that
go
around
back
so
to-
much. Stop
let's
moving
go
that
back to the
around.
sentence that we're now on.
Yeah.
The sentence that we're
Yeah.
now
You
on.
want to take, I think the word "and" has committed. I would take out the word "now" and take out the comma. Take out the word "now." Don't need "now." And take out the comma.
But you
That's
know,
it. That's
so
good.
some
It's
people
perfect,
don't
right?
know that, but you could read that sentence, and if you're a little out of the loop, you don't know that making the middle school net zero is putting solar on it. I hate to be just an idiot, but
Oh, well, then just put,
The
okay,
net
then
zero
put
with
your
solar.
stuff in there.
Yeah.
net zero with
Yeah,
solar,
with solar. Net
With
zero with
X zero solar,
with
net
solar.
zero with,
Yeah.
with X
The addition of,
megawatts of
I know,
solar.
you want to
Yeah.
get that in there, but with solar.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, with
You-
solar,
you-
fine.
the first paragraph is we're doing solar, and now we're going to do more solar. That's all it
Yeah.
needs to say.
That's right.
and that's what they're
Doing
telling you
solar.
to
End
do.
of topic.
Right.
We're doing solar. We're doing,
Right.
and we're doing
Okay.
more. And then we'll do more after that.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
All right, so,
That's
all
good.
right, so the light plant has built 7.5 megawatts of solar, and it had built this by 2014 and has
Right.
committed to help make the middle school net zero using solar. How about using
Yeah.
solar?
Using solar. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, using solar. Yeah, and this makes everybody look good, right? That's what we want to do
Yeah.
here.
Okay. With the STF, the town is looking to build on that momentum. Well, okay.
Yeah.
we're able to get to the
Perfect.
next-
Perfect.
get to the next paragraph.
Yep.
Yep.
While the task force has surveyed a significant number of locations that might support solar, as we head towards 2030, most of those sites will require discussions with the butters, town departments, and the broader public. Our focus in the past few months has been on selecting a few sites which are more straightforward to construct, offer the best financials, and are non-controversial locations. Now, that might be a stretch to say that this is a non-controversial location at the drainage basin, but we're gonna
Yeah.
say that's,
Well, it's not controversial enough.
it isn't controversial enough.
Well,
It's
and you haven't
Not, it's
identified it.
non-controversial enough.
not controversial,
yeah.
because no one knows about it yet.
No one knows about it.
We
Exactly.
might
You-
not, it might be helpful to cut that non-controversial part and
Yeah.
just, because we've already said about the abutters beforehand, so we can just say
Yeah.
more
Well, we
straightforward
can-
to construct and offer the best.
How
financials.
about in unintrusive locations?
No,
You know what?
No,
I would
no.
take it out. I think Gavin makes a good point.
Yeah.
Take
yeah.
out from the "and" to the end of the paragraph, because
Yep.
we don't want to have anybody think, oh, they think it's not controversial. Well, I'll show them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good enough.
do you want to say the
I'll
best
show them how to
financial
make a
returns?
controversy.
Which are more.
Do you want to
just
call
put-
it
and
financial
offer.
returns? And offer best financial
You
returns?
want to take the paren out, the
Yeah.
comma out.
Easy to
Comment.
construct and offer the best return.
Financial metric or financial return.
Financial return.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
We could work at a newspaper. Send us to the newsroom.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. All right. We're just trying to save words.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
at 496 right now, so we're doing
Cool.
well.
Doing good.
All right. We first narrowed our list to two opportunities which look promising. The first is, that's the word first twice. The first,
Yeah.
how about we
Well-
just narrowed it? We didn't first
Yeah,
narrow.
yeah,
it, we
just-
narrowed it.
Yeah.
We
We
narrowed our
narrowed, yeah,
We
Yep.
narrowed our list to two opportunities which look promising. The first is a large expansion on the Cap landfill along Route 2. This site was not fully utilized in 2014 because solar construction strategies for sloped areas on a landfill cap had not been developed. We believe it is likely that innovations in the last 10 years will make it possible to add over 1.5 megawatts of new panels there. I could just say
Of new panels. Take
period,
there out.
yeah,
new panels.
Could you just also say maybe the first is a large expansion of the town-owned capped landfill?
Yeah, yeah.
Just remind them it's town property.
Oh, okay.
Or the towns.
The towns,
Towns.
yeah.
Capital,
Yeah.
apostrophe
On the
S.
town.
yeah,
Yeah.
Do we capitalize town?
yes,
It's
yes.
always
Yeah,
capitalized.
yeah, that's good. That's good.
That-
And
As
Route
well,
2, we
because
might
you're
need to,
referring- Because you're referring to Concord.
Yeah.
That's why you capitalize it. Okay.
we might need to capitalize Route 2 as well.
Yeah, I was just gonna say route.
Yeah. It is.
It's
Yeah,
an,
right.
it's a
This is
location.
why-
Should
This
abbreviate
is
it.
why there's
Yeah.
an editor at the bridge who will look at that, you know,
Yeah.
that's. Okay,
point.
this site was not fully utilized in 2014 because solar construction started. We got that sentence.
Yep.
We are happy. We believe it all the way out through 1.5 megawatts of new panels. Okay, and the word there is gone. A second promising site would make use of a drainage area on the CCHS campus between the parking lot and the BD Center. After conversations with this, now this is where it gets a
Could
little.
we use the
dark.
word basin of a drainage basin instead of area?
Sure.
Could you just say
Yeah, it's a
available
depression.
land? But
What's that?
well, no, I mean, it's going to be a ground mount, right? Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
the important part?
Yeah,
Do you need to bring
Is
up
it-
the drainage basin as the
Yeah.
Well,
location?
they want to know, they
Available.
should know where it's gonna go. They should-
yeah.
this is-
people are gonna go,
This is
"Oh,
very contentious.
yeah, and
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
and
Potentially
people are
a
gonna say,
con-
you're trying to put it over there where we want to put a track, and I don't
Yeah.
want to.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
yeah, no,
taking up,
that's good.
you're
Yeah.
taking up our land.
Yep.
Yeah,
This is
Yeah.
dead land.
Okay.
okay,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
After
We'll back up a little bit.
conversation-
You're hiding stuff here.
I'm not. hiding
Okay.
it.
Good, no?
Would be the drainage basin. Yep.
Okay, is everybody happy with
Yep.
what's
Yep.
going on? Okay. So the drainage basin on the CCHS campus between the parking lot and the BD Center, after conversations with the superintendent and the school committee chairs. Now, Dave, you've had your conversation, I've had mine.
Mhm.
It also been polite, and I think that they have expressed interest in, so that's why, you know, I kind of put some backup in here, which is that the campus advisory committee report
Yep.
said we need to do this as soon as possible.
Yep.
So.
That's good.
So before you get too far here, you don't need that sentence that the school roof was added as a third location, because people can add.
Right,
It's okay. I think it's okay.
Well,
for
but you
now.
don't need it. You don't need it. And we don't want to put emphasis, we don't want to bring people's attention to the roof. So
Well-
we need people to focus. Think about the purpose of the article. We need to get the basin set aside for us. We're not trying to explain anything other than, hey, we need that land. So if
But we're
if you
proposing
take, if
to
you take
fund
that
the
out,
roof.
you take that out,
No,
it reduces,
I-
what?
I'm fine
I
leaving it in.
I'm
Okay,
fine
leave it
leaving
in.
Too.
We had
Yep.
these conversations, they expressed their concern about the basin, and they expressed their interest in this other thing, so we
Yep.
have added it. You know,
And-
it's
and-
okay, I'm okay.
All right.
you
Yeah,
know?
we
Can
want
I-
options with them.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
want to
we-
give them some flexibility.
Dean, before you scroll up, can you go back?
Yep,
I just, I don't want to get picky uni, but can we drop the, as soon as the light plant grid was able to handle the added solar, the advisory, that sentence, like, do we need to say that? Because
well,
nothing in the grid has changed, and
Probably
now we're
not.
adding it,
now,
Yeah.
right?
now,
I think
we
we
all,
should drop
we
that.
all know that, we all know
I know.
that, but somehow there was misinformation provided to that campus advisory committee. And in their
Right.
report, it says we should do this immediately, as soon as the grid can handle it. We understand that the grid can't handle it. So,
But the-
I know, I
but
just-
the- but the
I just don't
campus
wanna-
advisory, it's moot.
Yep.
Because the campus advisory committee already recommended that it be
they've
done,
already
so
recommended. they're
Right,
gonna
we
so I was
pass
don't
just
it.
need to
gonna
bring
say-
up the history of
right?
the lack of this and that. We don't, that
Right, so
doesn't help
just-
anybody.
I think if you put a period after roof and just leave it at that, because it's a
Yeah.
stronger statement.
Yeah.
Someone already asked for it. It's like,
Yep.
geez, why didn't we do?
All
Just
right,
leave it. Yeah,
all right. we're
Saving
gonna-
words, saving words.
Yeah,
Keep moving.
saving
That's
words,
right,
that's-
saving words, get those out of there.
All right,
It's good.
Oh, funny.
the school roof was added as a third location.
Yep.
I don't have to, I don't.
You can say
know.
therefore there if you want.
Just take it out, take out under consideration. This
Yeah,
whole
sounds
thing
good.
is under consideration.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
The school
Yeah.
roof was added as a third location. We're gonna get this
Yeah.
down to like 450 words.
Everything's been under
it's good.
consideration for the last 10 years.
yeah.
Do we want to therefore the school roof there, just to
Where?
make it make sense more?
No, I don't think so.
That's fine.
Right.
That makes sense. Okay. The task force has created a warrant article with enough funding to build out all three of these opportunities. Bonds would be issued this is an important point that,
Yep.
you know, I got some blowback at the light board meeting from one of the light board members who, I've forgotten her name, Bianca, I think is her name.
Yeah.
Bianca, yeah, Bianca.
Yeah, Bianca said this is frightening to people because they will feel that the school or, you know, that somehow the taxpayer will be funding this big, you know,
Yep.
nut. And
Yep.
the answer to that is no. The
Yep.
revenues from the energy and the light plant are going to be used and it's going to be on the ratepayers, et cetera. So I need to make this very clear that the bond will be repaid by the light plant, not the taxpayer.
This is
Can-
good stuff.
So
No.
Dean, can we
Don't
make it,
scroll, don't scroll.
No.
Don't scroll
So-
yet.
Will apply,
You
yeah.
need
Can
to
I just make a
capitalize,
recommendation?
task force, TF, task force, you gotta capitalize that.
Where are we?
he's back up on
Oh, back here,
Yep,
okay.
yep.
the task force. Do you want to call it the STF? You
Well, I used
abbreviated it
FTF,
elsewhere.
you know, enough in there.
Okay.
Once in a while, I want to just use, you know, a different
Yeah,
language.
It's fine.
you know.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay,
It would be the STF, like you look down 2 paragraphs, you see the STF twice in that paragraph. So, you know,
Yeah.
I go back and forth for that reason. So it's not.
so I
all
had a
with this yet.
slight edit on this and said that are repaid by light plant revenues, not property taxes instead of the taxpayer, because by the way, taxpayers are paying.
That's a good way to say it.
How about just using light plant revenues or something?
No, I was repaid through light plant
Yeah.
revenues
Yeah.
That's good. That's very good.
and not, comma, not property taxes. Instead of not the taxpayer, but not
Yeah.
property taxes. Because that's what people are worried about,
Right. Yep.
property taxes. They think property taxes, that's my tax
Right,
bill.
so we say not property taxes here?
Yeah,
I'm
We're
good.
really hacking this up, aren't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's all good. Every
And then-
last.
Well, so I'm gonna hack up the last thing. I'm not sure
I have
that
something here too.
anybody needs to know this.
All right.
I mean, this is like,
Well,
this is
but
like,
my
this
comment
is like
was-
inside poop.
Well, the next sentence, but I was gonna change, I had a recommendation to change that
All
too,
right.
to say CMLP ratepayers will benefit from the energy savings generated by the solar systems, period. Don't go back into bond payment.
Yeah.
Now,
Say
do we
that
have
again,
solar
Wendy?
savings in the?
Yeah. So,
It said CMLP ratepayers will benefit from the energy savings generated by the solar systems, period.
Will benefit. So, okay, so we aren't
The
gonna go back. to
CMLP
bond
ratepayers,
stuff.
yeah.
That's
not the
good.
bonds.
That's good.
Yep, yep.
That's great. I like it.
Benefit from, yeah,
Beautiful.
systems, period.
And the battery, but we don't need to make a big.
No, we don't need to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
no, it's just energy savings. Yep.
Won't be any initially, but we'll get.
It'll take a long time to get there, but we'll get there.
Yeah,
Yeah. You have an extra period in there.
yeah.
All right.
So why do we need to say, you know, the first sentence of the next paragraph?
Well, this
Because I
kind
think
of
it's important
goes,
to like. Yeah.
this has been sitting out there as a thing that people kind of are
Mhm.
aware of in the town. This light plant has an issue. It can't accept, you know, large amounts of additional solar.
Yep.
We just want to say, they've confirmed, we work with them, we've confirmed that this solar from these 3 locations is fine. We're going to be able to add it. But we can't go any further, is really. and
Actually, you need the first sentence because what the sentence you want is the second sentence. So the
Yes.
thing goes together. That's good. It goes together.
It goes together.
It might be helpful if instead of saying it here, referring to the light plant, say the light plant confirms that the local grid can handle.
Oh, fine.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
You want to call it the grid? I guess so.
It's a generic term.
All right.
We think of the grid as the ISO New England, but
The local circuit.
that's okay. People think of it as the grid. It's fine.
Okay,
They call it grid. It's fine. I know it's imprecise if you're really.
We're
into
good.
technical weeds. We're
Well,
fine.
when you
Good.
say local, it's local. Yep.
Yeah.
The last sentence, can you make it a little more, you know, the warrant article includes funds for monitoring and control system as well as battery pack to allow further solar? It seems like the
Well, it
the first
starts with
part.
that clause.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, but I'm wondering if you should end with it. So that,
So
that
this-
you focus on the warrant article.
enable the ads.
I don't know.
Oh, so you just say the warrant article includes funds for.
Well, maybe we
monitoring.
could find out another word to put after the grid battery pack, as well as
Yeah.
a grid battery pack well, I mean, the point there is to mitigate problems with overgeneration, but that gets complicated.
People, yeah, people don't understand that.
But is your point to say that this is there are components here in addition to the solar panels,
Yep.
Right.
and then you also are saying, so we can add more later.
Oh, you know what?
So you can say in
You could-
addition, the
You
warrant
could say
article
as
includes.
well as grid scale battery pack to integrate additional
What if I
generation
just put
into the
this-
grid.
What if I just put this clause at the end of the sentence?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what I'm thinking.
Yep.
Just
Yep,
Um,
just say warrant also includes funds for monitoring control systems. Yeah,
Yeah, that works.
yeah,
because you're in essence saying, you're enhancing the light plant's abilities, right?
Yep.
The warrant
I would
article
say
includes
also
funds
includes,
for a
yeah.
monitoring and control system as well as a grid scale battery pack to enable additional solar going forward. How about that?
Yep. Yep,
Do you need that comma in there after control system?
yes,
You
I
do?
would say, and
As well
I
as,
would,
yeah, I think that's a good
Yeah, yeah,
clause
yeah.
in there.
Okay.
Yep. The STF is working with the light plant.
Well,
the
then you
light
need a
plant-
second comma after battery pack. You just can't stick a
Yeah.
comma in there.
As well as, okay, you're right. Okay,
yeah, to enable it.
okay. All right.
But
everybody-
so can I just ask, like, would the average person think that you wouldn't need that? Because you're saying additional solar going forward. Do we need to have it with this installation?
Well, that is a concern, is that people will look at that and go, can we just
Yeah.
defer, put that in later?
You
And
wanna
No,
call
that's
it,
what- yeah.
you want to call it storage, grid scale storage
Mhm.
instead of battery
Yeah,
Or
pack?
do you
Yeah.
want to, or do you want to optimize this installation? Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, we're trying to optimize both
Correct.
the installation and CMLP's ability to accept it,
Yeah.
right? So I'm
So-
trying to tie it back into a larger goal here.
Yeah, so the monitoring and
Well,
control
yeah.
system, frankly, the way we've talked about it, the monitoring and control system is a must-have. They
Yeah.
gotta
Were
have
you-
somewhere to manage these things. CMS is gonna go in, and then all these three are gonna go in, and a battery might go in. If it goes in, regardless, they're gonna need a monitoring control.
Right, are
So-
you optimizing this solar installation? So instead of enable
No,
additional.
we're optimizing the grid. We're
Yeah.
not
You're-
optimizing this installation.
Yeah, but so they're gonna say, why are
Well-
you doing it then? So like, you want to
but
do it with this, right?
So we can.
No,
just say
no,
we're
because you're adding something to a system. That can
Right.
be explained, I think, at town meeting. I think we're okay with this sentence. Really
Yeah.
All
do.
right. All right.
It's almost like you're saying, to allow us to integrate
It's a
this
future
additional
thing.
solar. What I'm afraid of is the additional solar going forward is sort of
Right.
like leaving yourself open to, oh, you're going to be coming back and asking for more money.
Of course we are.
I know we are, but
I know,
yeah,
I know.
I'm trying to like limit it to, today's question and
Okay,
not
Gonna-
put you.
that's reasonable. So, what do we just say to help
Enable-
optimize
the solar installation,
the productivity of these assets or something,
optimize this, optimize
salad.
solar implementation.
Yeah.
Optimize the solar implementation,
Yeah. Yep.
or optimize the implementation. The,
Or
optimize the-
this implementation, you could say this
Yeah, just
implementation.
this implementation.
And
This-
you're fibbing,
Yeah.
you're fibbing a little bit, but that's okay.
Not a
We have
lot.
Well-
license to do that.
Actually not. This will optimize these
It
things.
will. Yeah.
Yeah,
it
it's
will.
not fibbing.
Yeah, you're fibbing.
Installations, it's installations, implementations,
Yeah. Yep.
installations, yeah.
Installation is a very simple word. People understand.
You could also say essential funds to make sure that people know that we need this if we're going to bring solar online.
I would agree.
Includes essential funds. Ooh,
Essential funds. Yep.
Ooh,
Well, because then you get out
I
of
know,
the,
it's
oh, well,
good.
I support solar, but I don't need all the other stuff, do I?
I don't need
Yeah,
these bells
yeah,
and
no.
whistles. Yeah, what is
I
this?
like
Right,
that.
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Essential. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Good
There you go.
suggestion, Gavin. That's good.
yeah.
All right, so this STF, so this has been a good group effort so far. We're on the last paragraph, we're on the home stretch, everyone. And we're gonna get it done. The STF is working with the light plant, the light board, the school administration, and hopes to have a robust conversation soon. Now, this is, I don't know. I hope to have a robust conversation
Yeah.
soon with the full regional school committee.
Yeah.
Regarding opportunities on the campus where a legal agreement will be required to formalize the arrangements. The town faces no administrative hurdles to further build on the landfill. The STF warrant article will get full review during the hearing process in the lead up to town meeting. You know, that's it. Stay tuned to this space. I don't know. I thought there might be a need for another
Well,
sentence.
it's good. You gotta get the robust conversation going. That's good.
So I would,
Well-
instead of say further build, I would just say to expand solar on the landfill.
Expand.
Yeah.
Okay.
To
Yeah, that's-
expand solar,
Yeah, that's a better word than further build, you know.
yeah.
Right.
And then also just make sure to capitalize the town in the sentence. And
Oh, yeah.
sorry to jump back, but from the
Well,
previous paragraph, we
You
changed
said
battery
expand.
pack. Sorry, we said battery pack to storage, so you just get rid of the A, which is as grid scale, as well as grid scale storage. Yeah. Perfect.
Good.
So, yeah, expand.
So expand
Solar.
solar on the landfill.
Yeah, yeah. You missed that, yeah.
Oh.
I put landfill site. I'm looking at it going, okay, they're building on top of our landfill. Yes, we are technically. No, I'm just trying to. I'm
Okay,
trying
fair
to.
enough.
That's
We
good,
got
that's
plenty of
good.
words.
Yeah.
We got plenty of
That's
words to
good.
work with. We're at like 476, so don't worry
Yeah.
about that. You
That's
can- we
good.
can- We can throw in
Yeah.
some words.
So
I-
Dean, the other thing that I added, and this is where I wanted to discuss a little bit, was that additional meetings may also be scheduled to collect community input. That's more discussion for this group, because I don't know if we think we want to have, when we did the CMS project, the board had a dedicated meeting to this, just to allow community input on what was being proposed, et cetera. And we might want to consider doing.
What
that
being
as
proposed
well.
for what? For the light plant, for the CMS?
Yes, we had a whole
many-
separate
how many
presentation and
people showed
discussion
up?
on.
How many,
But I
how many
just-
people
I don't remember.
many people
Dave, do you
showed up?
remember? Quite a few.
It was the decent amount.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
it was.
It doesn't matter how many showed up. The fact that you offered it is the
I
most
Right.
important thing.
I was just
Right.
I
curious.
think- Yeah, no, and as we think about solar and we want input, the question is timing, because I know that we've got details. So I was saying that we might, additional meetings might be scheduled. I just think if we wanted to send that message to the bridge or not, might be
Yeah, that-
beneficial, but we would have to all agree that that's something we think we could do or plan to do.
Yeah, we'd have
Well, we
to,
have to, if we're gonna say it, we have to be committed to it. We can't
Well,
just
I
say,
said-
we might
No,
do
but
it.
Yeah,
I
that-
said additional meetings may also be scheduled to collect
Yes.
community input. Doesn't mean that it's a commitment to do it. Or you
I
can
think-
put another
think-
article in and.
I think in January, we can send out another status thing and.
Yeah.
I
say
think
we're
so
having a
too.
meeting, we're not having
Yeah,
a meeting.
that's
Let's
fair.
do
Yeah,
this.
Let's
yeah,
see
yeah.
how
We'll know
far
more
we
about
get
this.
with this.
Yeah, we got this done. Now I'm gonna.
Dean, do you want to collect any feedback from anybody or say something about the STF and when we meet and if they're interested, come to our meetings? I don't know. I'm
You know,
just throwing it
that-
out there.
I had a bracket at the end of this before
Yeah.
I sent it out to you guys that said, need final sentence.
Oh, Did you
Because I
say the
wanted to
STF
find a
welcomes
way,
input?
I wanted to find a way to encourage the public to learn what they could about this because,
Yeah.
it's going to affect everything. So,
Yeah.
but I couldn't
Yeah.
think of a decent sentence, so I kind of just punted and took out my little bracketed, thing. Now I'm gonna put this in markup mode, and we'll see what we
Oh.
did to this. It's like a mess. There you go. Here's what we did.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not bad. It's good.
I mean, you could easily end it with,
you-
the task
Yes,
force looks forward to, or, encourages the public to learn as much about the sustainable goals of the town and the effect of how solar can help us all achieve that goal or something like that.
You could say
broaden it
something
back
like,
out again.
You got words.
the STF looks forward to additional discussion with the public on these topics.
You could, invite them to our meetings if they want to learn more.
Well, they know they're invited. They know they can come.
Yeah, well, they don't even
Anybody
know
in
when the
town can
meetings
go
are,
to any
right?
meeting.
Yeah, no, I know, but
No.
like, again, your average citizen who might be interested.
But we also want to encourage them to engage
Give us
with our
feedback, yeah.
sustainability goals, right? You started it with the
yeah.
sustainability, end it with it, and say, we're all in this bigger mission together.
Let's not do this. We're not looking to have them engage with us.
Engagement with the public on these topics.
Right.
We don't look forward.
Encourages
say,
the-
like,
the public-
Encourages.
Yeah,
With
encourages
making the
public.
town,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry, with
Encourages is
making
a
the
good,
town
that's a good
greener.
word.
I don't want to talk about the public. That's just like weird. We're encourage everyone.
That's okay. That's good.
Encourages everyone to,
Familiarize. Yeah.
to
To be
to get
aware of the
yourself up to
town's,
speed, to
Yeah.
to learn everything you can about Concord's, sustainability.
sustainable goals. Yeah.
Well, isn't it to join with us in further discussions on these topics? That's what we're saying. We want them to, we need the feedback, right?
Yeah.
Well, and
I'm
we're
kind of
starting to
dodging that one and just saying, look, guys, everyone should be part of this sustainability goal.
Yeah.
Just
I'd
leave
say
it there.
support. The solar
Yeah,
task
support,
force is
yeah.
like
Everyone.
asking
Everyone's,
support or encouraging support for to make the town more sustainable or greener or something like that.
This is where I was, I stared at my monitor
Yeah.
for a long time for this sentence.
Well, you could say everyone to support our collective efforts to make the town greener.
there's everyone to support the town's effort.
To support the towns,
Towns.
you say, the town's efforts, to build a greener future,
More sustainable
Okay,
future.
Gavin, come on, Gavin.
sustainable future.
The town's commitment.
Build a
Yes.
town's commitment to build a more sustainable future.
is
Yep.
sustainable.
Commitment and I was gonna say initiatives, no commitment.
Solar
Like that.
Task Force encourages everyone to support the town's commitment to a sustainable future.
You want to say to a more sustainable future.
Fine.
Yeah. Through this and other, I don't know, initiatives.
I think it's good as it is.
I just leave it like
Okay.
that.
Good.
Leave it open.
Okay.
Yep.
Good, perfect.
All right. So going back to the markup version, there's the markup. There's all the mess we made. Looks good. I'm gonna save it in markup mode and then I'm gonna shred all the markup out. So this is I'm gonna call it the final. This is not the review version anymore. This is the final. Okay, I
think it's a great letter.
Yeah,
think-
great.
I think it's gonna get the point across. We're on this. We're on it.
Doesn't piss anybody off. Everybody feels good. And that's
All
good.
right, so I don't think we need any kind of motion on this.
Oh, wait, while the task force, you've got another task force without capitals.
Where?
While the task force, second paragraph.
Oh,
Second
gosh.
Oh my goodness. There you go.
Now I gotta save it out again. Make me crazy. Okay, whatever. Okay, that's
Same
easy.
name.
Just click the
Yeah.
little disk symbol, diskette symbol. I love that the symbol is like a, a total antiquated thing. The symbol for saving is a diskette. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you like that? It's
A
an
floppy
antique.
disk, right?
An
Antique.
antique.
Oh,
All right, everybody.
Right,
So,
we need a motion
one
to
thing
adjourn.
that I was gonna recommend,
Mhm.
and we can decide, because we're here, is that we skip our meeting on the 21st. We've done good work. We're gonna get this in front of the select board. Is there any, we kind of squeezed two in 2 in a week. And
Mhm.
what do you think? Can we skip the 21st or what do you want to do? We're in the holidays. I'm just trying to give everybody a break. We're all working here, but if everybody
We
wants.
can,
to-
but Dean, do you want to talk about what needs to happen at the next meeting? Or what, if there's anything anyone should be doing before that meeting?
Yeah, or that you're meeting on the 18th with the select board.
Oh, yeah.
the 18th with the select board. I have a PowerPoint I can run through with you guys. Did I send that to you, to the committee? Maybe I didn't. Hold on, I'm gonna
think
stop.
you
No,
did.
I saw
Yeah.
it. You presented it.
Hold on, I can share you what I've got. I'm not really allowed, I was told pretty directly that I'm not really allowed to put up a PowerPoint on, the select board doesn't really like having people come in. and
Oh,
give
have an
it-
attachment?
Well, display it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I sent it
Oh,
to
like
them,
that.
they can leaf through it before I arrive at the meeting. So this is what I put together. Let me just share that. Hold on, we'll share that.
I also have an announcement I want to make.
Okay, well, we can here. So here's what I put together for that. And it has that quote that it's in the letter to the bridge. This
Yep.
quote about how we're doing
Yep.
this. And it says we have two main arteries. I use the word artery, not bus bar, too technical, just
Yep.
use artery. One limited to one branch, 2.5 solar is feasible. We narrowed it based on these criteria. We identified 3 sites. Here are the sites, 2 on the campus, 1 at the landfill. And if we build them all out, it's 2.44. We have structured improvements to grow further. Main control tools are required. Storage, battery, immediate stability, and financial benefits. Sorry. And there's the numbers.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you want to go back one slide? Do we want to say grow further?
Yeah, do well,
Too late, it's in their hands.
yeah. it's
Okay, good.
All right, brother.
All right.
Well, but also remember, this is our first project, right? And so it's sort of like our first effort here is this, but you also want to say that, we're continuing our second half of our task, which is
Yeah.
to continue with the
Yeah,
other
well,
side.
which would be
Yeah,
great to
yeah, that's
report,
right,
really.
that's right.
The main part of our task
Good
is,
point.
really
Yeah.
keep moving forward. Now,
Yeah.
just to give everybody a little bit of a heads up, I did go back and read the charge.
Yeah.
And the charge says we will have a draft
Yep.
in the hands of the
February.
cake in February.
I
and we
know.
will be finishing our report in
April.
April. I'm gonna
Yep.
try and talk to the select board about stretching that a little. That doesn't seem feasible to me. It seems like based on where we are, we're not really in a position to get
Yeah.
that.
Well, how could we do this before we even go to town meeting?
Listen,
Well,
I was gonna say, Dean, is that a separate conversation with Mary on how to do that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, and also because we didn't get up and running until like August,
August.
September.
right.
Right.
I know it. I
Yeah.
completely agree. And then here's the article.
I think we should run to the end of the fiscal year. It should be
I agree,
coterminous with the
I think
year.
that's
Yeah.
kind of, Carmen asked that question at a chair's breakfast, and I gave her the end of June. That's what I gave her.
That's good.
Yeah,
And nobody
yeah.
blinked. Everybody's like, "Oh, okay, you're gonna have that report done in June." I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have it done." So
We can't have it. You can't have it done by the time they're saying.
I
We won't
don't-
even have the sites identified yet.
I know.
Well,
Well,
you
that's
also
why-
you also need to
Kevin?
know how successful you are in your first attempt. If this fails, then that might influence how
Right.
the report ends up, right?
Well, this fails,
we
we're gonna
do
go
need
home.
to-
We're gonna just go home.
Yeah,
So we-
That might change the report.
We do need to get going, started
Yeah.
on this.
Oh, I
on the
know.
report, though.
I'm
So
not-
that's why
I'm
I was
not-
asking about the
I'm-
January thing.
But
Yeah.
I think we should leave the meeting as scheduled and cancel it later if we have nothing going on. I don't think we should be canceling stuff.
Okay, so next
Yeah.
Thursday, we're gonna meet. I have to think of what kind of an agenda we're gonna have and what we're gonna talk about.
Let's go
because-
back to Gavin's outline.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need to get back to that.
I'm assuming he has one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, I guess Wendy, are you the minutes person this time around?
Yeah, I'm gonna take
There's
the
a
minutes, yeah.
recording. It's pretty
Yep.
modest. I mean, you
Yeah.
could probably do it in like 2 paragraphs, we.
Well, I'm
looked
hoping
at
I'll
text,
do it in
we
the
worked on
morning.
this,
Yeah.
We
Got
adjusted.
the
Well,
whole
just
marked
the-
up version there anyway. You can see where we all went left and right. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't have to go into details. We just
No, no.
reviewed, edited, and revised.
There you go.
That's right, and then
That's exactly it.
Yep.
All right.
So-
And
So
agree.
you want me to make my announcement?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Well, I just want to give everybody a heads up that Grace, who you met,
Oh, yeah.
has put together a little survey to go out to all the students to determine whether they like the idea of solar on the drainage basin.
Oh, wow. Does,
So What?
I was gonna say,
Would you-
does the administration know about that yet?
Well, they do, yes.
Okay.
Well, she's gone out and notified Lori Hunter of what's going on, the fact that the Sunrise Movement is engaged. But it's really up to her to decide how to do this. I'm not telling her what to do.
Yeah.
So what I did is I helped her with the editing and making sure that what she was doing was basically correct. So this survey simply says, 2 sites, but one of them is kind of a slam dunk, but the other is there's some, we need to get feedback on the second one. The second one is the drainage basin. Is this something that you think we should be doing? So this stirs the pot, in the school. And she's also sent letters to both Lori and I think those went out already, Lori and Mrs. Guiney. Mrs. Guiney is the teacher who's assigned to lead the green team. So that's the story with the high school stuff.
So what's Grace's last name?
Goggins.
Doggins. Doggins.
Doggins. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All right. And what's her role there? I'm sorry.
What's her role?
Yeah. I mean, she's just like chair of a student group?
I think she's a chair of the. Well, I don't know if she's chair. She's either the chair or a member
of the Sunrise Group.
Wait. We have those emails.
Well, I don't. You do, but well, maybe you just send it to me for the minutes.
We do. Well, we don't want to. I don't want to start looking like we're in the middle of this. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. Like someone introduced her in the last meeting, but I wasn't taking notes or doing the minutes, so I didn't write any of that down. So I
haven't gone through my recording of that yet to create.
Okay.
So that's on me, but I didn't expect to bring it to this meeting anyway.
Well, that wasn't a dig. I was just trying to figure out.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to take notes now. So Grace Duggins from the high school, part of the Sunrise. It's a Sunrise student group. Is that what it is? Student group.
Yeah.
Sunrise. All right, group. All right, I'll put it.
I'm just looking up what
Okay.
she said here.
That's all right. Okay.
The other thing,
She
Charlie,
said she runs the Sunrise Climate Club at the high school.
Sunrise
It's called the
Climate
Sunrise
Club.
Climate Club.
Okay.
My name is Grace Goggins, and I run the Sunrise Climate Club at the high school.
Oh, good.
right? Charlie, the only thing that I want to like slide into something in this description of using the drainage basin is something about, an innovative approach to using the drainage basin.
Oh, good idea.
I because it's a school, it should be innovative. We should be, cognizant of the most current thinking and open to ideas versus just saying, oh, we're going to throw it in your drainage basin. You'll never know. Because I think it's so prominent on the site that there's going to be a lot of scrutiny. I just think we need to think a little bit about how we want to do this.
Oh, that's it. I'm still open for
Yeah.
editing. You want me here? Let me read you the sentence.
Where's this?
Second promising site would make an innovative use of a drainage, would make.
Yeah, put that in the
innovative
article.
Wait,
Yeah.
Go
Would
back to
make
the article.
Innovative
Oh,
use.
innovative use.
Because,
Of a drainage basin.
Yeah, the idea here is to really get a dual use out of something that can't be
Exactly.
used for anything else.
Well, I
exactly.
did have the term dual
So-
use in there,
Right.
but it.
But I
seemed
want
very
innovative. I
like
want
it.
something new and,
No, the innovative is good.
yeah.
Yep, it's great.
All right, that,
An innovative second use.
I'm not seeing whatever you guys are looking at, by the
No,
way.
no,
no,
you're not, you're not.
doing it
I'm not
off,
sharing
offline.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
You want me to, I'll share it back to you.
No,
Hold on.
it's okay.
No, but it-
No.
Just understand it's a school. We should be forward thinking and we
Yeah.
want, that's all.
Great.
Well, I think there should be some dialogue on that when we get to the
Definitely.
quote so-called robust conversations.
So,
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So here we go. Wait a minute. So the sentence as I've now considered it, a second promising site would make an innovative secondary use of a drainage basin on the CCHS campus. How's that?
Yeah,
That's good.
beautiful.
Yep.
That's-
Innovative
that's
secondary
beautiful.
use.
Yep.
of a
We're
drainage
just doing
basin.
such wonderful things. We're just,
Hey.
we're very wonderful people, innovative, great forward thinking, sustainable. It's all good.
It's all
Yeah.
the best. Come on.
Yep.
it's the
It's all
best.
good. You know, we need a group picture.
A little kumbaya
town
here.
report.
Okay, we're doing
Hey,
good.
there's a town reports. You're gonna have to take a picture. Gene, that's coming your way soon.
Yeah, we need,
Oh,
we need a
God.
group
Okay.
picture.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
all right. Next time we're all together, when does the town report get pulled together? That's a good
You know,
question.
usually January, they start hitting up. Well, actually, I think all the chairs should have been asked to write something.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know. Eric and Dave might know.
That
No.
hasn't gone out yet, but it's coming soon.
Yeah.
It usually does.
All right, well,
Okay,
Um,
well, it's so
Right.
I
all
think
good.
it's a
So
wrap. I
if you see anything, you get any noise about this thing, you know, make sure you are clear that. Well, if you want to know the backstory, Brad Hubbard Nelson got them excited about helping us. So
Yeah.
then they reached out to us, and here we are.
Okay.
Is that fair, Dean?
that's fair. It's fair. And
So here
that's
we
why
are.
she showed up. She showed up
We
because
didn't,
Brad
we
said,
didn't
"Hey,
go,
this-
we didn't go rabble rouse to get, you know, this
Yeah.
going. They wanted to do this. And she really does want to do this. She's very smart person, very talented. I have come to see, so.
Great.
Yeah,
Oh, she can come
Good.
back in January.
exactly. All right.
All right. Is that
Okay,
it for
I need a
now?
motion.
I
have
make a
motion.
motion that we adjourn the meeting at 7:47 of the Solar Task Force.
I second it.
Oh, okay, clerk. Okay, so Steve, we're gonna adjourn. This is a motion to adjourn. Steve,
Yes.
Gavin,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Charlie,
Yes.
and Wendy, yes, it is unanimous. All right, great meeting.
All right.
And Dean, by the way, you did a nice job with the board.